is sponsored by Brilliant. Brilliant.org is the best way to learn math, data science, and computer science interactively. It has thousands of lessons from basic and advanced math to AI and technology science, engineering, and lots more. Brilliant can help you reach your personal goals and get your knowledge where you want it to be. It's not only essential for professionals and students, it's built in a way that makes it easy for anyone to use and build your skills in the most effective way. It's like your own personal teacher. It customizes content to fit your needs. So even if you're a total beginner, it's fine because you learn at your own pace. Plus, new lessons are added monthly. It's all super fun and interactive, so I really recommend it. Try Brilliant for free for 30 days. Go to brilliant.org/ASMRglow or click the link in the description. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Enjoy. There's a lot of wind, isn't there? You're not scared, are you? No. Look what I got you. I got you a nice hot chocolate like you like them. I think it's a little too hot right now, so if you want some, I'll put it here. Okay. Technically, they say hot milk helps to sleep. So I guess it's kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah. Do you want me to turn down these lights a little? Yeah, I don't know if it helps you to sleep much, so is that better like this? Good. Okay, so I got you also. Well, this is just because it's Christmas. It's a special. It's those little Kinder eggs that you love. Yeah. Those filled with, I think it's milk and bits of hazelnut, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. So, do you want one? Yeah, there's a lot. I can open one for you. Let me see. Do you mind if I sit? Okay. I'll put this here. Wait, I wanted to give you something. It feels really cold, so I brought another super warm blanket, and it's super comfortable, and I thought you might need it. I'll just put this here for you. Okay. Okay. Good. If you're too warm, you can tell me, alright? Good. Just look at this. see you have your dog sleeping with you. She's adorable. She doesn't seem to mind the wind as much. Alright, let's open this Kinder Egg, shall we? It is, I never can find that little opening. Oh my god, I found it really quickly today. Yeah. Okay. And for you. It's good, isn't it? I know. I'll open one for myself. I love these. It seems like they're only out. They only sell them in for Christmas. I'm not sure actually. Might not be that. But see, I completely. Okay, not too bad. It's not great, but. It's the best, isn't it? So, I thought I could pamper you a little because, wow, lots of wind. I thought I could just, pamper you a little bit because I know you haven't been feeling the Christmas spirit, right? Yeah. Well, I hope you like my tree. It's kinda, I don't know, I found it and I really liked it because it has those like red berries and the snow. Yeah, I just think, I wasn't gonna put up a tree or anything, but my brother told me to because we tend to forget the nice, to do the nice moments. Like, years are hard, but we need to remember to just hang on to these happier moments, and so I thought I could just pamper you a little and just do this thing that you've always really liked, like when I put my fingers right there, this, and then you can tell me about your Christmas memories, and I can tell you about mine. And then I have a book I wanted to read you, if you don't mind, of course. Yeah? Okay, good. Alright. So, tell me about your best Christmas memory. Okay. I see. What did you like about it? Why was it the first one that you thought about? Yeah. Well, I think, although it's not really something we can, reproduce, because we don't have the same people, I think it's important to just try to reproduce like the feeling of it, even if you're alone, I think. Last time I was wondering what to do, to feel that same kind of feeling again, and it takes only even just music, nice Christmas music or ambience, and maybe decorations here and there. Last time I even dressed up. Oh, there's a lot of wind. I even dressed up a little bit better, other than a sweater and joggers, and put on some Christmas music, and even like little fairy lights can actually help a lot. I feel like fairy lights are always very festive and cozy. You can't see. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wanted you to feel cozy tonight, so I put up all the Christmas lights I could for you, and I hope you enjoy it. I think Christmas it takes a little bit. It's not just a feeling inside, it takes a little bit to get you in that mood, in that feeling. But it takes a few steps, I guess. For me, it's not so much food, because I don't really remember like specific foods for Christmas that I used to eat. It's just more so the ambience around, I guess. And the fact that, just being cozy and comfortable at home is very Christmassy, to be honest. So don't worry. Okay? I hope this is gonna make you a little bit more Christmassy. Yeah. Can you hear it? I did put a little bit of ambience on the other room. I didn't want to put it here because I didn't want to wake you up or it be unpleasant for you and not be able to sleep. So it's just like a far away ambience. Yeah, we can watch a lot of, those stupid cliche movies that I love for Christmas. Do you mind if I braid your hair? Thank you. Mine. Well, okay, let me just not pull your hair. They're so long, it's crazy. Okay, there we go. I got one here. So, my Christmas. I used to have really nice Christmas when I was a kid. My mom, it was really important to make us feel like a real Christmas. So we had this giant Christmas tree. It was a fake. We always had a fake. It was gorgeous. And giant Christmas tree, and while putting the decorations up on the tree, she was obsessed with that. Either Mariah Carey Christmas album or the Michael Bublé one. So she used to put that all the time when we helped her for the decoration. And so we had that, and then they didn't know but when I was a kid, I was gonna, at some point, I think, pretending to still believe in Santa. Except that I knew exactly where they hid the gifts. It was in my sister's room, and they were all there. I think they were already packaged. How do you say wrapped? I'm not sure actually now, but I just knew, that the gifts were there. So it was kind of funny. And then when they were like, Santa doesn't exist, at some point, I was like, no. Oh my god. Talk about a Slytherin child. And then, so yeah, but I just loved, that was actually my little tradition, to go in my sister's room and find the gifts there. I think they still don't know now that I used to do that, but I used to love doing that. And then I saw all the gifts, and I was patiently waiting for Christmas Eve. It was in France, so we used to celebrate on the 24th in the evening. I know it's supposed to be like on the 25th and stuff, but no, we used to do a dinner on the 24th, and then wait, I think I just invented that. Oh no, yeah, at first they made us believe that Santa gave us, brought us the gifts on the 25th, and then we were just so impatient that they were like, we get the gifts earlier on the 24th after dinner, so something like that. But I always knew where the gifts were all along, and yeah, it was really fun. We used to eat with part of my family. We invited them, and my mom always made us what we call blinis, is salted pancakes with crème fraîche and then smoked salmon on top. That used to be my favorite thing to eat for Christmas, and for them it was like a salad with walnuts, which I can't eat. I was allergic all my life, so it was really nice. And then the Christmas songs, of course, it was just all very, very nice. So now I think not having children is why we're like me. But when you have children, I think like my mother, you tend to want to do these things more to make the children dream. So this is kind of what I'm doing with you right now. Just trying to make it cozy and Christmassy for you, so that you feel all Christmassy, or better about Christmas overall. And one Christmas market that I loved, it was huge. It wasn't a market, but it was huge. It was in London. I think it was called Winter Wonderland, and it was so fairytale like, honestly. It was gorgeous. I love winter Christmas market. Wow, it is very windy, but I was kind of surprised to see that there's not many in the United States. but I feel like everyone should know Christmas markets and have one in their life, you know, at least once. It's just so nice and cozy. I love your hair, by the way. It's so smooth. What Christmas movie would you like to watch? I feel like I don't really have like one Christmas movie, you know, that is like Halloween. We all have that one Halloween movie, but the Christmas is more like when I grew up in France. Every day at 2 p.m. on the TV, they used to put all these like Hallmark cliche movies, and I used to watch this, and it was so nice and so heartwarming, honestly. So I think we should watch these. Yeah, just because it's so Christmas-like, you know. Christmas songs. I know one. I don't know a lot. I know, what was it? Silent Night. I can try to sing it. Wait. I know it in English and in French. Okay, so I don't remember the lyrics. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mine, asleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. In French, douce nuit, sainte nuit, dans les yeux, l'astre lui, le mystère s'accomplit. Cet enfant sur la paille endormi, c'est l'amour infini, c'est l'amour infini. That's all I know. As children, we used to have, in French, vive le vent, vive le vent, vive le vent d'hiver, qui s'en va soufflant, sifflant, soufflant, dans les grands sapins verts. Hey! I can't remember any other. Yeah, all I want for Christmas is you. It's not really a Christmas. I mean, it's not like a traditional Christmas song. Yeah. Can I read you? I brought this. Beautiful edition of Peter Pan. I thought we need to Chapter 1. Peter breaks through. But, on the other hand, they were as leaves. Mrs. Darling examined them very carefully. There were skeleton leaves, but she was sure they did not come from any tree that grew in England. Oh, I knew it. I was like, I'm pretty sure Peter Pan doesn't start with this. That's the next one. All children, except one, grow up. They soon know that they will grow up, and the way Wendy knew was this. One day, when she was 2 years old, she was playing in a garden, and she plucked another flower and ran with it to her mother. I suppose she must have looked rather delightful, for Mrs. Darling put her hand to her heart and cried, "Oh, why can't you remain like this forever?" This was all that passed between them on the subject, but henceforth Wendy knew that she must grow up. You always know after you are 2. 2 is the beginning of the end. Of course, they lived at 14, the house number in the street, and until Wendy came, her mother was a cheap one. She was a lovely lady, with a romantic mind, and such a sweet, mocking mouth. Her romantic mind was like the tiny boxes, one within the other, that come from the puzzling East. However many you discover, there is always one more. And her sweet, mocking mouth had one kiss on it that Wendy could never get, though there it was, perfectly conspicuous on the right-hand corner. The way Mr. Darling won her was this. The many gentlemen who had been boys when she was a girl discovered simultaneously that they loved her, and they all ran to her house to propose to her, except Mr. Darling, who took a cab and nipped in first, and so he got her. He got all of her, except the innermost box and the kiss. He never knew about the box, and in time, he gave up trying for the kiss. Wendy thought Napoleon could have gotten it, but I can picture him trying, and then going off in a passion, slamming the door. Mr. Darling used to boast to Wendy that her mother not only loved him, but respected him. He was one of those deep ones who know about stocks and shares. Of course, no one really knows, but he quite seemed to know, and he often said stocks were up and shares were down in a way that would have made any woman respect him. Mrs. Darling was married in white, and at first she kept the books perfectly, almost gleefully, as if it were a game. Not so much as a Brussels sprout was missing, but by and by whole cauliflowers dropped out, and instead of them there were pictures of babies without faces. She drew them when she should have been totting up. They were Mrs. Darling's guesses. Wendy came first, then John, then Michael. For a week or two after Wendy came, it was doubtful whether they would be able to keep her. She was another mouth to feed. Mr. Darling was frightfully proud of her, but he was very honourable, and he sat on the edge of Mrs. Darling's bed, holding her hand and calculating expenses, while she looked at him imploringly. She wanted to risk it, come what might, but that was not his way. His way was with a pencil and a piece of paper, and if she confused him with suggestions, he had to begin at the beginning again. Now, don't interrupt, he would beg of her. I have £1.17 here, and 2 and 6 at the office. I can cut off my coffee
coffee at the office. Let's say 10 shillings, making 2, 9, and 6. With your 18 and 3 makes 397. With 5 notes not in my checkbook makes 897. Who's that moving? 897 dot and carry 7. Don't speak. Right. And the pound you lent to that man who came to the door. Quiet child. Dot and carry child. There, you've done it. Did I say 997? Yes, I said 997. The question is, can we try it for a year on 997? Of course we can, George, she cried. But she was prejudiced in Wendy's favour, and he was really too grand a carriage of the two. Remember, Mumps? He warned her almost threateningly, and off he went again. Mumps, £1. That is what I have put down, but I dare say it will be more like 30 shillings. Don't speak. Measles 1 5. German measles, half a guinea, makes 256. Don't waggle your finger. Whooping cough, safe 15 shillings. And so on it went, and it added up differently each time. But at last, Wendy just got through, with mumps reduced to 12 6, and the 2 kinds of measles treated as one. Oh my god, that's funny. Illustration. There was the same excitement